Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about um, the case of missing or died scientists, which everyone is talking about. Apparently, it's a list of like 10, 11 scientists who either disappeared or went missing under unusual circumstances, yeah, or died. Um, so I will look specifically into what type of research they were doing, just because a lot of people think that maybe uh, this is somehow related to UFO investigations, or it's some sort of uh, spies, or I don't know, other bad actors trying to kind of uh, mm, I don't know, disrupt the essential um, scientific activities done by US government. And then it will be kind of curious to know what those essential scientific activities are, why these people are so important. So in any way, I think it's kind of worth looking at. So let me, you know, a kind of weird thing happened to me. So, well, yeah, I think conspiracy theorists will like it. Um, when I just asked AI, like in this case it was Grok, something like this, can you give me a list of those missing or deceased scientists who everyone is talking about and so on. Just give me a summary. So just it's kind of easier to work with. So yeah, he gave me the answer, and then next day it disappeared. Um, and then I have to do it again, and then next day it disappeared again. So like every day, if I want to work with it, I have to ask him every time um, from scratch. So that's I did today. Um, so yeah, but luckily we also have it just on Wikipedia. So yeah, I don't know why is it happening, and I haven't tried it with different with other AIs too. I haven't tried it yet, so maybe just Grok. So yeah, probably should stop using it. It's kind of buggy. So anyway, let's begin. Let's use then Wikipedia list then. So the first on the list is Ning Li. She's not included in all of this list, by the way. Because she died in 2021, but that's not the whole story here. Because she supposedly died from Alzheimer's disease, but actually she was hit by a car in 2014, which led to permanent brain damage, and that's classified as Alzheimer. So it's not really natural death. She was basically killed, maybe by accident, but it was kind of suspicious. I was following this case for a while, even before this whole story broke out. She was doing well some anti-gravity research with superconductors. I decided to cover her case and Amy Eskridge in the second part of this video, because if you want to learn more details, it's kind of a lot. Like Amy Eskridge gave in her recent presentation the review of all the anti-gravity research done over like 100 years. So yeah, I think it's like worth the whole another video. So these two people I will cover together. Amy Eskridge was also doing the anti-gravity research, yeah, and she died under unusual circumstances. Yeah, police ruled her death as suicide, despite the fact that before her death, she claimed that um, if somebody says that she killed herself, it's not true. So yeah, that's makes it extra suspicious. And by the way, if you notice that it's not like this event happened, recently. This list spans like basically 5 years. So Karen raises the question to what extent these events could be not coincidental. Like people die all the time, sometimes under unusual circumstances. So yeah, but these two are kind of strange because they're doing the same type of research, and both died under unusual circumstances. But MSK probably was kind of paranoidal, so it's just kind of strange. So I don't know. I'll cover her in more details in the second video, because this is not a standard mainstream approach to gravity for sure. Then next we have Michael David Hicks, former planetary scientist at Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Hicks' official cause of death was not released, and the wishes of the family, and also said he suffered from an unspecified chronic medical condition. At the time of his passing, later revealed to be heart disease. So yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't be really suspicious by itself. Plus, it's just a planetary scientist. I don't remember whether I was able to find anything about him. Not much. It just this small news article, or I don't know, statement, I guess, from the place he's working in, right? Michael David Hicks of Sunland, California, passed away on July 30, 2023, at 59 years of age. He worked at GPL, yes, I guess this Jet Propulsion Laboratory, as a NASA postdoc and then as a research scientist from 1998 until 2022. Okay, earned degrees from Boston University and a PhD in lunar and planetary science at University of Arizona. His research specifically was the physical property of comets and asteroids. He served on science teams of DRT project, DART project. I don't know what it is. In the Near Asteroid Tracking project. Well, okay. Because of that, I know some people on the internet, they speculated that, well, maybe, the government's trying to hide some sort of asteroid approaching our planet in the near future. Oh, wait, sorry. So, yeah, that's kind of one possible development of this conspiracy theory. Well, okay, so, but that's not much. I don't know, but doesn't look suspicious to me, yet. Now, Matthew Sullivan, U.S. Air Force. Yeah, I don't know much about him because I guess it's kind of classified. I think I asked Grok about it somewhere. Yes, so as you can see, I asked kind of who of the both scientists could be related to the UAP UFO investigations, and he's indeed a person of interest. Wait, is it him? U.S. Matthew Sullivan. Matthew James Sullivan, yes. Accidental overdose ruled by medical examiner. So yeah, that's kind of questionable as usual. Do we believe it? He was scheduled to testify before Congress, November 2022 time frame, on a secret government UFO UP crash retrieval programs. Yeah. Sounds kind of suspicious. Yeah, Sullivan was one of the key witnesses referenced by David Grush in his Inspector General complaint and congressional briefings. He reportedly had first-hand knowledge of classified programs involving non-human craft. He worked at the National Air and Space Intelligence Center, Wright-Patterson Base, AFB, I don't know, Air Force Intelligence Agency, NSA, and had DARPA ties. So yeah, oh yeah, no public academic research or publication list. His expertise was operation classified intelligence rather than open science. So yeah, again, I don't know what he was doing there, but it's clearly was very secretive. And David Grush recommended Congress to subpoena him, and then he died from supposed overdose. So yeah, that's the first case which looks kind of suspicious and also UFO related. So yeah, um, I would say this is interesting. Then we have Frank Maywold, surface water and ocean topography and imaging spectroscopy engineer at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. So again, this is like looks benign, but why again Jet Propulsion Laboratory? What's happening there? Why are there still people died already? So within 1 year, Mild Beatrice said that he had passed away at the age 61 without listing a cause of death. So supposedly he's just kind of old or something. And yeah, I don't know, is it him? GPL Caltech, yes. So that's the list of his publication. Herschel heterodyne instrument for the far infrared. I don't know. It's just some experimental. What is a science thing? I don't know. Some measuring tool. Spectrometers. Okay. And all solid state broadband frequency multiplier chain. Okay. Application of scale frequency multiplication to molecular spectroscopy. Okay, local oscillator source. Schottky diode. Frequency multiplier chains. Microwave radiometer for the Juno mission to Jupiter. Oh, okay. So that's related to space, at least. Demonstration of room temperature coherent spectroscopy source. Okay. Sagittarius P2. Well, I guess it's some probably either star or black hole. I don't know. Well, a passive probe for subsurface oceans and liquid water in Jupiter's icy moons. So usual kind of NASA stuff. I don't know. And measurements, right? I don't know whether you want to see more. So Schottky diodes, things like that. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't really, connects to UFO and UAP exactly, and doesn't look like very sensitive. Just kind of routine things. Yeah. Where he was. So yeah, this lab, it's just the usual lab, which was kind of purchased by NASA. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory is a federally funded research and development center in Lake Canada, Flint Ridge, California, United States. Founded in 1936 by California Institute of Technology researchers. The laboratory is now owned and sponsored by NASA and administered and managed by Caltech. Okay. The primary function of the laboratory is the construction and operation of planetary robotic spacecraft. So it also conducts Earth orbit and astronomy missions. It is also responsible for operating the NASA Deep Space Network. What is it? as a worldwide network for spacecraft communication, ground segment facilities located in the United States, California, Spain, Madrid, and Australia that supports NASA into interplanetary spacecraft missions. It also performs radio and radar astronomy, radar astronomy observations for the exploration of the solar system and the universe, and supports selected Earth orbiting missions. Okay, so I don't know what it could mean. What could they find? Again, another asteroid, some alien spacecraft flying to Earth. Yeah, I don't know. Let's continue. Anthony Chavez, retired construction foreman. Construction. Okay. Once worked at Los Alamos National Laboratory. Missing. Yeah, okay, but look, he's not a scientist, right? He just happened to work at Los Alamos. Monica Jacinto Reza, metallurgist and material engineer. And again, at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. Why? Well, okay, within 1 year from this guy, right? Or what? Reza disappeared while hiking in the Angeles National Forest with friends who lost her while navigating a trail on a cliff's edge. What could have happened there? Did she fall? She was abducted? I don't know, some wild animals killed her? Okay, that's strange. But the jet propulsion laboratory is strange. But, okay. Just an engineer, no, what should I say? Melissa Cassias, no, administrative assistant at Los Alamos National Laboratory. So again, not a scientist, just assistant. Relatives report she was experiencing a huge amount of stress related to financial issues and said she probably decided to run away. Asked if she left on her own volition. A spokesman for the New Mexico State Police stated, "It appears this may be the case." Okay. Steven Garcia, contract property custodian at the Kansas City National Security Campus. So yeah, I don't know why he's on this list. Missing. He's a manager on National Nuclear Security Administration. Facility managed and operated by Honeywell Federal Manufacturing Technologies. 80% of non-nuclear components that go into what nuclear reactors? Nuclear stockpile. High energy laser ignition system, microwave, hybrid, microcircuit production, and miniature electromechanical devices. It also provides technical services such as metallurgical, mechanical analysis, analytical chemistry, environmental testing, non-destructive testing, computer-based training, simulation and analysis, and technical certification. Okay. I don't know. What happened to him? Another government contractor with links to UFO information. Well, I don't know where did he find that. Wikipedia doesn't state anything like that. Has been revealed as going missing over the past year, according to the report. Steven Garcia vanished without a trace last August. The 40-year-old was last seen leaving his Albuquerque, New Mexico home on foot, carrying only a handgun. That's how people work. I walk in Albuquerque. Oh, I go for work again. I don't need much. Only my handgun. Well, who's Steven Garcia missing government contractor? Yeah, that we already know. The job allowed Garcia top security clearance in the building, which manufactures more than 80% of all the non-nuclear components that go into building the military's nuclear weapons. Okay. Maybe was. No, I don't know what to say about him. I know what he was doing there, right? Jason Thomas, assistant director of chemical biology at Novartis. Thomas drowned at Lake. Well, I don't know how to pronounce this. Quannapovitt, the Middlesex County, Massachusetts. Medical examiners stated no foul play was involved, and Thomas Five noted he was depressed at the time of his death. Okay. What it is? Chemical biology. Well, chemical biology sounds benign. Multinational pharmaceutical corporation based in Basel, Switzerland. Novartis is one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world and was the 8th largest by revenue. Yeah. It seems like she shouldn't be on this list at all. Like, yeah, she's not related to anything. I mean, okay, chemical biology. No, okay, certainly not UFO related. Nuna Loriero. I heard this case. So it's a plasma physicist, professor, and leader of MIT Plasma Science and Fusion Center, and he was killed in homicide as part of the Brown University shooting perpetrated by Claudio Manuel Neves Valente. But that's an interesting story there. It's like this person actually knew him and they were like rivals or something. So because there is different motive. So it seems like it shouldn't be like any conspiracy here. So okay. I mean, I guess his research is like self-explanatory. Carl Grillmeyer, retired Caltech astronomer and astrophysicist of exoplanets, galactic structure, and dark matter. Grillmeyer was murdered in a carjacking. 20-year-old California man was charged with the homicide in February 2026. Wait, I think I have his Google Scholar open too. So yeah, also looks pretty benign as a demography of massive dark objects in galaxy centers. A relationship between nuclear black hole mass and galaxy velocity dispersion. So interesting, yeah. It's like depending on how heavy the black hole is in the middle of the galaxy, the velocity will look differently, right? The slope of the black hole mass versus velocity dispersion correlation. Similar. The infrared spectrograph on the Spitzer Space Telescope. Yeah, looks like he studies the center of galaxies. Yeah, so and black holes. On the origin of global cluster system in elliptical and CD galaxies. Properties of global cluster system in nearby early type galaxies. From Hubble telescopes. Well, okay, he was old, right? So he was many papers. Just the usual astrophysics research. Yeah, I mean, kind of sad he was killed. But I don't see anything that suspicious. Joshua LeBlanc, electrical engineer at NASA Marshall Space Flight Center. Okay, so he already worked at NASA. And he died in a traffic collision. And there is something unusual here too. Look what happened. On July 22nd, LeBlanc crashed in rural area of Walker County, outside of Huntsville, Alabama. The vehicle caught fire after leaving the road and striking a guardrail and trees. Okay. Well, okay. Mm, his body was burned beyond recognition. Okay. Investigators used digital data from LeBlanc's vehicle. I mean, it's Tesla, right? So it's spying on you. They discovered that his vehicle has been parked at Huntsville International Airport for 4 hours the morning prior to the accident. His family reported that he had not communicated any travel plans and had left his phone and wallet in his home. Why? So, how frequently you going out of your house and leaving your phone and wallet at your home, and then you drive to the airport and do something there for 4 hours? So, yeah, following the development of the missing scientist conspiracy theory, his death began to receive widespread media attention. In April 2026, Missouri State Representative Eric Burleson, I think he's the guy who's pushing for this investigation into UFO, claimed that his death fit a pattern of scientists connected to sensitive government projects who had recently died or disappeared under unclear circumstances. As a result, the House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer of Kentucky urged federal agencies, including the FBI, NASA, and the Department of Energy, to share information with Congress. The White House announced a probe into people with high government clearance and scientists who have died or gone missing in recent years, including the retired Air Force Major General Neil McCausland, NASA GPL engineers Monica Reza, Caltech astronomer Carl Grillmeyer, and MIT fusion scientist Nuno Loriero, among others. We've already seen most of them. Who is left? Who's left? Yeah. This is the last guy. Retired U.S. Air Force Major General, former Commander, Air Force Research Laboratory, William Neil McCasland. So yeah, always his page. I missed it. Okay, I'll open it again. Um, I. Okay. Was an astronautical engineer, retired United States Air Force Major General, and former commander of Air Force Research Laboratory. He is currently the director of technology at Applied Technology Associates. Okay. So yeah, and by the way, Grok also thinks he is related to UAP investigations, as you can see. Yes, that's what he's saying. He had direct involvement in military UAP-related research as former commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson. Again, the same place. It appears in most of the UFO stories. Site with deep historical ties to UFO investigation, exactly, yeah. He served as an unpaid consultant to Tom DeLonge's to the Stars Academy on military technical matters involving UAPs and advanced aerospace. Representative Eric Burleson office, the same guy, remember, we just talked about him, was actively trying to contact him for a congressional probe into related issues before his disappearance. His wife publicly noted the brief UFO Community Association, but emphasized uh, dated clearances. Limited public publications due to classified career, research focused on advanced aerospace science and technology leadership. Okay, so yeah, out of all the people, certainly this two, the Air Force guy, and another Air Force guy, where he was, who died when 2 years ago, looks kind of suspicious. Because yeah, one was the key witness in this David Grush investigation, and another could have been a witness. Well, the other ones, yeah, I don't know. Of course, it's suspicious that 3 people come from the same research center, but one of them probably died from natural causes. Others seem kind of benign. I don't know. And these two, Ning Li and Amy Askrich, as I said, I will talk about them separately because, yeah, that's a long separate story of, sort of physics enthusiasts doing some sort of anti-gravity, novel propulsion type research in their lab and then kind of disappearing. This is just two of them. And I partially covered this research in one of my previous videos, and I will talk about it more in, well, in the next one. So yeah, tell me what you think. I don't know. Of course, there could be, most likely, most of these cases are coincidences. It's like but there's some legitimacy here because these two people who worked for Air Force and died when they were about to be subpoenaed to testify in Congress. Yeah, this is suspicious. So I would say there is some legitimacy to this concern, but like most of the people who surround it are probably unrelated. Like it's maybe 2 cases out of what 10 are indeed like worth some attention, and others I think just coincidences. So that's what I think, but I don't know. Again, I told you there's a theory about asteroids too, so that would involve more people. But then the Air Force guys are just still separate from this. So I don't know. I guess, if you're interested in anti-gravity stuff, just well, wait for the next video. So see you next time.